What's going on, people? It's your boy Big Augs, and welcome back to the Voice of the Tune. The international break is over. Um, that 2 week break is over. Finally, I don't see the point in having a 2 week break or gap in the first month of the season. Clubs, the teams, they work really hard to get going in preseason, and then to have 3 games in a row, and then finding their momentum and finding their form. It's difficult to find form because now there's been a 2 week break. So I don't see the point in this break, especially for the Nations League. But that's over, and the Newcastle United are back in the Premier League against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molineux, which is live on TV. To be fair, again, this game for me, it's a game you'd think that we would win. Newcastle United, we're unbeaten so far this season in all competitions. Obviously, beating Nottingham Forest in penalties, and obviously having the 2 wins and a draw in the league. So, it's been a steady, positive start. There's been a lot of talk off the pitch in regards to Newcastle United, in regards to our transfer window, the roles of Paul Mitchell and Eddie Howe. Both of them have both spoken out to talk about how they feel, where the club is at over the last couple of weeks. So there's been a lot of talk, but I think on the pitches it's been steady. I said in my predictions for the season that Eddie Howe now is in his 3rd full season now as Newcastle United manager, and the players know what Eddie Howe expects from them, and that probably is a bonus for us against other sides where they've changed managers, and there's not that many sort of clubs that you could say that have this level of stability. So this will work to our advantage, but the focus now is Wolves. So like I said, we've managed to stay unbeaten. Wolves in the Premier League, they've played 3, they've lost 2, and they drew 1. And you could say this is the game that they're looking at as the game where most likely for them to kickstart their season. Because they had a tough game at Arsenal and they lost 2-0 in the first game at the Emirates, and then at home on paper they played Chelsea, and they lost 6-2. So on paper, that is a difficult game, a difficult start. Arsenal and Chelsea, which they lost 6-2 at home to Chelsea, and then they drew to Forest 1-1 at the City ground. So they've got a point on the board. They are sitting in the bottom 3, but they would say they've had a difficult start. Forest are also unbeaten. So they've had a difficult start against good teams. So now they'll look at us, another unbeaten side, and think, this is the first home game where for them this season where they could see themselves getting something out of this game. But historically, as we know, this game has a draw written all over it. In the last 10 meetings, 6 of them have been a draw. 5 of those meetings have been 1-1, and the other one was a 2-2 draw last season. Of those 10 meetings, Newcastle have only lost 1, which I was at the Molineux under Steve Bruce a couple of days before the takeover was announced. So, we do know how to get points against Wolves. It's a team that we know how to beat, but also struggle to beat, if that makes sense. Hence the record. So, I think going into this game, I think we'd be positive because we had a good game against Spurs, a different approach. Some would call it smash and grab. I would call it a different approach from Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe's realised that last season we leaked a lot of goals. We scored a lot of goals. I think we're in the top 4 in terms of goals in the league, but we conceded a hell of a lot as well. So Eddie Howe has made some adjustments to the side for us to be a bit more defensive minded. Pack out our box and protect the goalkeeper, blocking shots. Which I feel like if you can't win a game, don't lose it, and you give yourself a lot of a chance in the game if you're difficult to beat. And I think that's what we're showing. We're showing that Newcastle United, 1, we can win ugly because we're showing that against Southampton. 2, we're hard to beat because we've shown that against Bournemouth and also against Spurs. The Spurs game was about sitting tight and making sure that we were clinical when we get our moments, and we were making the right decisions. And I feel like that's what it's going to be again on Sunday against Wolves. I wouldn't say we would sit back like we did against Spurs because Wolves are sort of a counter-attacking team. They like to use Ait Nuri and Cunha on the transition. So I think those 2 players is players for us that we'll need to watch out for. But they are a side that they like to play on, the transition and on the counter attack. So for us, we'll probably be the ones who's going to dictate the play, or it's going to be an even an open game, as it always is at the Molineux. I recall the last game last season, 2-2. That was probably the start of the injury crisis. That injury period, I think it was off the back of a European game, was when a green kit, and it was just a horrible game. I think Wolves scored first, and then we managed to bring it back to 2-1, and then they scored again 2-2, and we struggled that game just to show any sort of fight. But that was the start of the difficult period that we went on to enjoy last season. So, but obviously this game is a sort of a different game. Like I said, we were coming off the back of a win against Spurs. A lot of the guys have had a rest. The few players that went out to play for the countries. We see Tonali play 2 90-minute games. He got a beautiful assist that's going around on social media. So that will be a plus for Eddie Howe. Like I said before, like Tonali for us is like a new signing. He's brilliant player, top player, and he improves the 11. And that's what I wanted us to do in the summer: bring players that improve the 11. We didn't manage to do that, but we have somebody in Sandro who can come in and do that. And for me, surely he's knocking on the door to say, "Gaffer, look, I'm fit now to start." Whether Eddie Howe decides that, it's up to him. But I'll give my starting 11 later on in the video. We saw Almiron and Bruno G come against each other, where Paraguay won. Bruno was subbed off at half time. He got dragged out at half time. Apparently, he's been poor for Brazil, and the Brazilian fans aren't really taking to him well. So, he'll probably come back with a point to prove, and come back to feel the love from the Newcastle fans, as he always gets. So, and then obviously Shah's back as well. So there's, I do feel like we're in a good position on the pitch and on the field. We see Anthony going to play for England as well. So, and Osula got a couple goals for the under-21. So, there's a good squad there. Also, Lewis Hall, I might add as well, played for England under-21s, and he got 2 assists in the last game. So it's been a busy period for the boys who played internationally, but also for the main, or for the majority of the squad, is just about staying fit and not getting injured, which I believe we've managed to do. So we're looking strong going into the game. I just think, again, to get a win and to be successful in this league, we probably have to be better on the ball than we have in previous games. And tomorrow Sunday is an opportunity to do that, to be better on the ball. And we need to exploit Wolves' weaknesses. And I think the main weakness for me is their strength, which is Aït-Nouri, because Aït-Nouri, he loves to bomb forward, and he's a very good player going forward. He's dangerous. So if we can stop him going forward in terms of his threat, there's going to be some space on his side, because he's a sort of an attacking left back. So, Wolves play that 5 at the back, but they leave that gap on that side when he's going forward. So if we can sort of exploit that side, whether it's Harvey Barnes who does start, or Murphy, for me it should be Barnes, but whoever it is should exploit that area, and Eddie Howe should find that area, and I think we will, because I think it's a common theme with Wolves. Aït-Nouri likes to be attacking, but also defensively he leaves them sort of a space in behind. So I think that's the area that we should exploit. And also, like I said, just be better on the ball, and being aggressive, and keeping this Wolves crowd quiet, because they'll be desperate to find their first win of the season, and we'll be desperate to stay unbeaten and to find another win, and to take the talking that's been going off the pitch and put it on the pitch, and silence those sounds that's been coming off the pitch. So it's an opportunity to do that, to talk on the field. That's where football is won. That's where clubs are most successful, by doing the talking on the pitch. So as long as we do that, and we stick to our game plan, I'm confident that we can get the win. I see pictures of Callum Wilson back in training. Whether or not he will be in the squad, who knows? But the point is that the squad is looking healthy. So I'm confident going into this game. Our record against Wolves is decent. We've only lost to them once in 10 meetings. Winning 3 and then drawing 6 of them. So I'd say the odds is sort of sliding towards Newcastle United on this one. So I am going to predict um, a 2-1 win, a 2-1 Newcastle United win. And the team that I will do is I'll pick, obviously, Ngoni Pope. Um, Left back, ooh. Do you know what? As much as I like Lewis Hall going forward, and I'm happy for him that he got his 2 assists, I do think Lloyd Kelly is a better option at left back at the minute. You know, like sort of Dan Burn, having that centre back that can play left back. That I feel like that will help us defensively. If especially if Tino wants to go forward, then we can have 3 centre backs defending our box. So Kelly left back also because he got an assist in one of the previous games. So left back Lloyd Kelly, centre back Burn and Shaw if he's fit. Shaw back into the side. Kraft will drop out, and right back again. Tino was away for England, but I still value Trippier. I still see value. I still see value in Trippier. I still see that Trippier has a lot to bring to the side. We managed to fight off interest in Turkey, and he's somebody that is a threat for us. So do you know what? At this point, I still prefer Trippier over Livramento, just because going forward he offers us just that different dynamic and quality. To cross balls in with set pieces. So I'll start Trippier. So that's the back four. In the midfield, I think I'll play Bruno, Jolinton, and Tonali because he's ready now. He's played 2 games midweek. Like I said, got a good assist. He's ready. He's got the minutes in his legs. Probably give him 60 minutes. Let him get ready let him get used to the Premier League. So I think he's ready. So give him a start. That will be the midfield. And attacking, obviously, Gordon out on the left, who had a good 2 games with England. Isak also went away with Sweden. I play him up top. And on the right, Harvey Barnes, just because of obviously his performance against Spurs. He just has that extra quality in the final third compared to Miggy and Jacob Murphy. So that's the team I'll do. 2-1 Newcastle United win. Anthony Gordon, I think, is going to score, and Kylian Isak to get the winner. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. It's always a pleasure. Make sure to like, to comment, and to subscribe. It's your boy Big Uggs. I'll see you in the next video, and I'm out.